Hello, it's Manitou Jack here from Pikes Peak, Colorado, Manitou City at Brandon's place, and it is time for a Christmas present or a Christmas story read to you by Manitou Jack. So let's begin. The title of this story is one of my Christmas favorites, my all-time Christmas favorite. It's called Harvey Slumfenburger's Christmas Present. Now just remember, hamburger, Slumfenburger. Kind of keeps a way of remembering things. Oops, got to hold on to my cookie. Alrighty, so let's begin. This is by John Birmingham. Love the Christmas color, green. And here we begin. Harvey Slumfenburger's Christmas Present. Watch my cookie. It was Christmas Eve. Santa Claus and the reindeer were home at last. They were very tired from delivering presents to all the children around the world. They had something to eat, and then Santa Claus put the reindeer to bed. One of the reindeer said it did not feel very well. Maybe it had nibbled on something that it should not have. Santa Claus thought all he needed was a good night's sleep, and he put the reindeer to bed. Finally, Santa Claus was able to go to bed. He put on his pajamas and was just climbing into bed when he saw something that made him gasp. At the end of his bed lay a sack. Santa Claus could see the shape of one present still inside. Santa Claus pulled the present out of the sack. The present was Harvey Slumfenburger's. Santa Claus knew all about Harvey Slumfenburger. He knew that Harvey Slumfenburger's parents were too poor to buy him any presents. He knew that Harvey Slumfenburger only ever got one present, and that was the present Santa Claus brought him. He knew that Harvey Slumfenburger lived on a hut on top of
Roly-Poly Mountain,
which was
far, far away.
And soon it will be
Christmas Day.
Santa Claus was very, very tired. The reindeer were asleep, and one of them was not feeling very well. But Santa Claus knew he had to get the present to Harvey Slumfenburger. Santa Claus put on his coat over his pajamas. He put on his boots and hat, packed up his sack with Harvey Slumfenburger's present in it, and started to walk on his long journey through the cold winter night to the hut where Harvey Slumfenburger lived on the top of
Roly-Poly Mountain,
which was
far, far away.
Santa Claus had not gone very far when he met a man with an airplane. And Santa Claus is very polite. He said, "Excuse me," he said. "My name is Santa Claus. I still have one present left in my sack, which is for Harvey Slumfenburger, the little boy who lives in a hut at the top of
Roly-Poly Mountain,
which is
far, far away.
And soon it will be
Christmas Day."
"Get in my plane," said the man. "I will take you as far as I can." The airplane took off and flew through the night toward Roly-Poly Mountain. Heavy snow began to fall. "I am so sorry," Santa Claus said the man. "I cannot fly my airplane any farther in this snow." The plane bumped and skidded across and finally came to a halt. The man said, "If you go to the garage that lies over the hill, there's a man with a Jeep. Maybe he can help you." Santa Claus set off through the snow. He went over the hill to the garage where there was a man with a Jeep. Being polite, Santa Claus said, "Excuse me, my name is Santa Claus. I still have one present left in my sack, which is for Harvey Slumfenburger, the little boy who lives in a hut on top of
Roly-Poly Mountain,
which is
far, far away.
And soon it will be
Christmas Day."
"Climb in my Jeep," said the man. "I will take you as far as I can." The Jeep bounced and spun across the field and down the road toward Roly-Poly Mountain. But then the Jeep skidded and crashed through the fence and into a tree. Santa Claus was sent tumbling into the snow. "I am so sorry, Santa Claus," said the man. "I can take you no farther. But if you go down the hill and across the river, there's a boy with a motorbike. Maybe he can help you." Santa Claus went down the hill and across the river and met the boy with the motorbike. "Excuse me," he said. "My name is Santa Claus. I still have one present left in my sack, which is for Harvey Slumfenburger, the little boy who lives in a hut on top of
Roly-Poly Mountain,
which is far,
far away.
And soon
it will be Christmas Day.
We'll go on my motorbike," said the boy. "I will take you as far as I can." The motorbike roared off along the road toward Roly-Poly Mountain. But they had not gone very far before the motorbike slid on some ice and they both fell off. "I'm so sorry, Santa Claus," said the boy. "The front of my bike is all twisted. I can take you no farther. But if you go across the valley and into the woods, there's a girl who has skis. Maybe she can help you." Santa Claus went across the valley and into the woods, where he found the girl with skis. "Excuse me," he said. "My name is Santa Claus. I still have one present left in my sack, which is for Harvey Slumfenburger, the little boy who lives in a hut at the top of
Roly-poly mountain.
which is
far, far away.
and soon it will be
Christmas Day.
Stand on my back of my skis," said the girl, "and I will take you as far as I can toward Roly-Poly Mountain." They had not gone very far when the skis broke with a crack, and they both tumbled into the snow. "I am so sorry, Santa Claus," said the girl. "My skis are broken, and I can take you no farther. But if you go up the slope and down onto the plain, you will be near the bottom of Roly-Poly Mountain, where there is a climber with a rope. Maybe he can help you." Santa Claus went up the slope and down onto the plain, where he found the climber with the rope. "Excuse me," he said. "My name is Santa Claus. I still have one present left in my sack, which is for Harvey Slumfenburger, the little boy who lives in a hut at the top of Roly-Poly Mountain, which is
Far, far away.
and soon it will be
Christmas Day.
Hold on to my rope," said the climber, "and I will take you as far as I can up to."
Roly-poly mountain.
They had not climbed very far when the rope broke, and Santa Claus nearly fell off Roly-Poly Mountain. "I am so sorry, Santa Claus," said the climber. "My rope is broken, and I cannot climb any higher. But if you keep on going up that cliff and over those boulders, you will see a little hut at the top, and that is the hut where Harvey Slumfenburger lives." Santa Claus kept going up the cliff and over the boulders and finally arrived at the hut where Harvey Slumfenburger lived. Santa Claus climbed onto the roof, and down, down, down the chimney he went, and he tiptoed into Harvey's room and put the present in Harvey Slumfenburger's stocking while Harvey Slumfenburger slept quietly throughout the night. Then Santa Claus set off on the long journey home. He took a horse, a scooter, a bike, a zip line, a boat, a helicopter, a sled, a hot air balloon, another bike, roller skates, ice skates, and then he hopped onto a train to return to his home. And finally, as he gets there, you can tell exhaustion has taken over Santa Claus, because this is the second time he has made his journey around the world to deliver presents. And this one was for Harvey Slumfenburger. Santa Claus checked that the reindeer were all right and tucked into bed. And as soon as the sun began to rise on Christmas morning, Santa Claus climbed into bed and was soon fast asleep. In the hut at the top of Roly-Poly Mountain, which is
Far, far away.
a little boy whose name was
Harvey Slumfenburger.
reached for the stocking on the end of his bed and took out his present. I wonder what it was. Maybe you can do some reflecting and think of what might have been in that one present that Harvey Slumfenburger got on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, everybody.